All right, folks, that looks like you may have bought sufficient time. We're just actually waiting on INnoVation right now as GuMiho is in the lobby, kind of having a broken
There he
English
is.
conversation with us. There we go. Hi. So we were discussing this during the break, but if you guys don't know, I'm sure these guys have probably played tons and other things that are not just BaseTradeTV related, but specifically things that are BaseTradeTV related. We've seen INnoVation and GuMiho face off against each other in 2 best of 5s most recently, and now a best of 3 here in the Olimoleague. And for a while I thought there would never be a better series than Beyond versus INnoVation, but maybe it's just INnoVation versus Terran. It makes for a really good series.
It's a little bit selfish, but I kind of want the admin to just wreck the rules right now and just turn this into a best of 7 randomly, and then go back to best of 3 for the next round.
Right? You're just like, you know what? Depending on which players hit which part of the bracket, that would be actually, it'd be annoying and hard to find something fair for. That would be a really interesting tournament format where like round of 8 is like best of 7, but then semifinals is best of 3, and then, like it just fluctuates or something weird. Like the ultimate challenge.
No one's done that before, as far as I know. But yeah, I mean these 2 players in this series always promises to be entertaining. And it's already looking like it's going to be a little bit cheeky in the top left here. This is GuMiho.
Yeah, this needs to be discussed for sure, but his opponent in the bottom right going to be the inspiring INnoVation. And I say inspiring because when these guys fought, it was INnoVation doing all the proxies the time previous. It is worth noting GuMiho's playstyle, though. Like, he usually will do proxies. It's not like he's scared of this. But most of the time, it's usually to close out a series, and I wouldn't say necessarily to open in a series.
Yeah, and I mean, if I was INnoVation, he's played GuMiho a ton of times. No doubt he hits him on ladder. He's been hitting him in a bunch of tournaments lately, especially online. But if I was him, I would just be SCV scouting every single time, man. Like, I know you want to have as many as possible for as much mining as possible, but it just seems super worth it to send one SCV out after the depot just to have a look.
I think most of the time I would disagree, but with these 2 specifically in mind, I agree entirely with that.
Yeah, just for GuMiho. I wouldn't do it in any other player, or maybe Hero.
Well,
but
so
I would.
My concern though is INnoVation has been like hit with proxies, and in the past he's been caught doing things like faster reactors, a little bit greedier play, going for the factory and not building a cyclone. When he's classically the guy who goes like 3 cyclones deep. So I really hope, like, if this is gonna be Command Center next, he's gonna feel the burn.
Oh, it is gonna be a Command Center. Oh boy.
This is like the worst possible opener for him. I mean, if he goes for a reactor after this Reaper, I'm dead. I don't even know who I'm watching anymore.
Well,
like, he's just gonna be screwed.
You may not be dead, but INnoVation certainly will be.
Yeah. Well,
not forgetting who he's up against here. He's going into factory.
Cheeky SCV. I like that. Okay, so really important to note, GuMiho's SCV scouted the Command Center, but didn't get anywhere close enough to be scouted himself. So INnoVation has no idea. This is what I'm talking about. INnoVation's greedier playstyle is really going to kill him. Honestly, I don't know how you hold this off. He's going to need, like, this first Reaper fight has to go in his favor if he wants any chance to win this game.
Well, so far, both trust trading SCVs here, but the 2 Reapers are out now for GuMiho, and they're in the main, and there's not a whole lot INnoVation can do about this. He has to pull the boys and use his single Reaper to win this fight.
It just really can't. I do like that he stalls the factory, but I do like that INnoVation also gets back on it right away, not losing any time to it. But this is perhaps already too much. GG.
That's it, yeah. Once GuMiho targeted down, which was great target fire, by the way, to take out that single Reaper of INnoVation, there was no way he was going to get a Cyclone out without losing like 10, 12 SCVs, and that game would have been GG at that point.
Well, INnoVation...
Oh. Can I get the pleasure of this shout out, by the way? It's a lovely message.
Go for it. I gotta do the map.
Jabsy Malone subscribing to BaseTradeTV with Twitch Prime. Hi guys, shout out from Wales. Been out of the SE scene for a while, like 18 years. Glad to see it's bigger than ever. Keep up the good work with a smiley face. What a bro.
Welcome to the Base Trade Brigade with that Prime stuff, man. And if you guys missed the announcement yesterday, it was a pretty big deal. Almost every country in the world now has access to Twitch Prime. This was not the case before.
Australia has it now.
Yeah,
I was watching some Amazon Prime today. I was watching American Gods. Great show.
I gotta get into that, actually. It's on my to-do list. But I bring this up. I bring this up not because I'm trying to goad you guys into like, oh, please sub to base trade, and honestly, please sub to base trade. But I bring it up because you should use this on whatever streamer you're favoring out there, but just don't leave it dead. Like no matter what country you're in, it's like absolutely worth hooking yourself up with Amazon Prime/Twitch Prime, not just because of the benefits you get from Amazon, but the benefits you get from Twitch. Plus, Twitch put out this really cool package where you can, I think it's like your first year, you get like a small discount or something, so you actually more or less get quote unquote paid, or you save $6 by using Prime rather than just subbing normally for a year. So it's a really awesome deal. It really is, and it helps us the broadcasters out a ton. One thing they didn't touch on though with the announcement that I was a little bit sad about is, if you guys don't know, if you are a Prime sub, you don't get ads, right? That's the thing everybody knows. The part that a lot of people don't know though is that you still count as seeing ads, and this is huge for the broadcaster. So if I run a commercial and we got like 200 people at Twitch Prime and chat, even though none of you see that commercial break, we still get counted as if 200 people saw that ad, which is huge. Yep. It's not lots of extra money, but over time that pays off huge. So again, Prime users out there, help out a ton. But oh my god, it might just be a repeat. Spawning in the top left, I hope he's feeling a little bit more on edge. It is the Blue Terran INnoVation, already on his last life.
And apparently not wanting to play TvT today. In the bottom right corner, this is GuMiho.
Does anybody want to play TvT though? I mean, honestly.
I want to a little bit because I want to get better at it specifically for the caster tournament. I mean, I could just do this. I feel like that the guys that I'm up against would have seen it every day though, and open very safely against someone like me if I went for this.
Well, I have specific plans. I've been training with the good old Beastie Cutie to play the game a little bit better.
Ooh.
Getting coaching from how to play Bio versus Protoss, because mech just doesn't work. As I have both Control and Todd in my group, so rip. Rest in peace, Ripkin.
Yeah, good luck battle cruiser rushing those guys.
Yo, speaking of Twitch Prime, by the way, Olimoleague herself hits us up with that Prime sub. What up, girl?
The great Olivia. What up, lady?
Now she could just hack everybody's account to make them sub with Prime. That'd be great. The Chris Nervoth stabs the boss with some bits. Appreciate it, man. That takes him down to 11,000 health even.
GuMiho SCV scouting, but at a quote-unquote regular time here. So the alarm bells aren't ringing yet for INnoVation, although they will be as Reaper 1 gets into the main very quickly.
Yes, but key differences in this game. No faster command center. Factory already done, and I doubt he throws down that reactor. Oh, this is going to be so annoying. Whoa. Oh, wait. Okay.
Factory finishes, goes immediately into a Hellion. And that's a decent enough response. The Hellion gets built a lot faster and is a lot cheaper than a Cyclone. Oh, a nice grenade from INnoVation. Doesn't actually connect that well on the Reapers. In fact, the grenades of GuMiho connecting on the Reaper of INnoVation. And these two Reapers are going to get some SCV kills here.
That's a cool predictive grenade. Comet Drugs kicking in right now is also really important timing-wise because of the Hellion that's about to spawn. Hellion alone is not very good against Reapers anymore, but with two of his own, he might just be able to take this fight. Problem is, he needs to take this fight now because there's more Reapers on the way.
Yeah, I feel like I was going to say, pulling SCVs off the line to help repair the Hellion, or even body block those Reapers. Although the Hellion is much easier to target fire than enemy Reapers when you pull the SCVs. So with the second Hellion out now and a couple Reapers of INnoVation's own, it's all over for this Reaper rush here. And GuMiho realizes that he's going to float those barracks back home. The float of shame for these two barracks as they head back to the main.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about this for GuMiho is it's not so dedicated to go for this build. It's not like, oh my god, you're SOL, but it does put him behind, right? Like, his factory starts later because of all the gas spent on the Reapers. His starport comes down later too. So this cloaked Banshee for INnoVation might just find a timing to do some damage. And I don't mean in terms of like regular harass to the SCV line, but breaking down the supply depots so his own Hellions can get through.
Yeah, and he's actually making also another strong unit here. Getting the Cyclone peppered in with his current army is actually surprisingly good against Marines and that sort of thing. The Cyclone is an incredible anti-ground unit, but.
By the way, someone in chat says GuMiho may be hiding builds due to tomorrow's TvT GSL matchup. And while I want to agree with you most of the time, you see a statement like that because it makes sense. This is actually just how these two have been playing for the last week and a half. Because they have been fighting against each other in multiple best ofs for things we've been
I actually think this this double proxy from GuMiho, I think he just does it for INnoVation. I'm not sure he does it for every
I
team.
think at least game one, it was certainly tailored to INnoVation. Like, he knew how INnoVation would play. I mean, God, if I know how INnoVation is going to play, I guarantee you GuMiho does, right? And that's, like, I called that shot for shot throughout that game.
Oh, Olimoleague's already hacked every single Twitch account. That means that a bunch more Prime subs are going to be coming in now, Rifkin.
At least we know she can't hack the BaseTradeTV account. It's the one thing she can't get in. Son of a bitch! She did it!
Oh, no. Oh, no. She did it. She's cracked it.
The scan's actually really great. It's weird actually see. This has become a trend, actually, funny enough, because of INnoVation. Like, I feel like what GuMiho is doing is he's using INnoVation against himself. Three Cyclones was something we saw exclusively INnoVation do for a while. The same way we saw INnoVation exclusively be the only player to do double Raven, right? He's the trend starter. But this has proven to be really good early game, and I think with the 2 Vikings, GuMiho's got all the power when it comes to an actual army fight. And catches another Banshee.
Ooh. Yeah. Nice catch there. And that's 2 very high gas units that haven't done anything for INnoVation here.
Yeah, plus the cloak investment too.
Yeah. And GuMiho actually has a surprisingly scary ground force here. INnoVation's the one thing he's got going for him is he has a siege tank. He doesn't have a ton of other units. There's
even then,
Reapers
though,
immediately.
Landed Vikings and Cyclones demolish siege tanks if he wants to take that fight, but I don't think he should.
2 siege tanks. 2 siege tanks is a little bit sticky for this army of GuMiho. 2 Vikings coming in here, seeing if maybe they can pick off something from the starport. They're looking for a Raven or a Viking or anything like that. The Marines bat them away.
You know what? No one expects that 3rd Banshee after like the first 2 went so bad, but he does still have a turret, so this does have limits on what it can do.
Yeah. So we see both players sort of licking their wounds a little bit. INnoVation trying to get a faster 3rd CC, and GuMiho just powering on 2 base for now. Although it's looking like he wants a 3rd as well, especially after seeing the 3rd of INnoVation. If he wants to elongate this game. Yeah, +1 for the bio and Stim on the way for him. Stim's way ahead of INnoVation's.
Stim I'm not so concerned about, right? Like, GuMiho's not going to have 40 Marines and like 15 medevacs. Stim is definitely going to be a huge edge in the fights, don't get me wrong. But what I'm looking more towards is the combat shield follow-up. I think that GuMiho having Stim early is nice. Having combat shields seals the fights, though.
Yeah, if you have both those things against a guy that has neither of those things, you're going to do very, very well in fights for sure. Well, double NG Bay, though, on the way for INnoVation.
Even
doesn't
then,
have any.
Like, Stim, it's good, but we've seen so many dumb games won by the power of combat shields. So for me, I'm watching this right now. Does he start that right away? He's got the gas, he's got the money. Boom, that could be a game-ending upgrade right there, guys. Honestly.
Well, combat shield's going to be very, very helpful. Also, the fact that GuMiho's Marines have Stim and +1 right now. They're going to be very high DPS units. He's looking to go into the main here of INnoVation by the looks of things, but INnoVation's kind of ready for this, although he is starting to move his army around.
Yeah, maneuvering could be a problem, actually, because the Cyclones come in, right? If all the tanks are down here because the Cyclones are posing a threat, boom, there's the double drop in the main. Kills the Raven, barely gets an auto turret off, but the auto turret nowadays isn't that big of a deal.
Yep, single siege tank, thankfully, for INnoVation in the main. It makes things pretty tough for a guy trying to drop just Marines in here, and he does get deflected.
But the natural base also gets torn apart. So many siege tanks missing from this now. Bottom left also had deflection there with the Vikings, so that's only Hellions he's got to worry about.
6 SCVs there. GuMiho chomping into the bit of INnoVation's economy. Both players with similar work account, well, exactly the same work account, 46 apiece. INnoVation just taking the lead now. And both players are just sort of, gonna not take too much damage for a little while here. They're getting their 3rds up. They're, posturing their armies around, but I don't really see an opening for either player to do a ton of damage to each other right now, unless there's a giant move out, which INnoVation's going for right now.
I think there's the opportunity for GuMiho to get some damage done. One of the key things was while that drop on the main went off, he did pick off 2 siege tanks, which the siege tank lead was the biggest thing INnoVation had going for him, right? Now we get into this, like, he still has like 5 siege tanks, and don't get me wrong, if those are on the position, fine, but they're probably going to be spread out between 2 of the 3 bases. GuMiho should be able to drop or at least push into the other where the tanks aren't. Scans ahead to see what's going on. INnoVation sees his army moving around, and if INnoVation has the eagle eyes that I know that he does, he's aware that combat shields is done, and this is not a fight he's going to comfortably take. He, again, does not have combat shields even started yet, which is a big problem.
Yeah, that's actually a mistake from INnoVation. You should absolutely get that. He just realizes that getting in combat shield right now. I mean, it's such an easy upgrade to forget, but he does need it if he wants to fight GuMiho's army one-on-one. So INnoVation, he's done with his shenaniganry. He's dropped down the sensible sensor tower to make sure he keeps an eye of GuMiho's army, which is sort of setting up on the high ground here at the third base. Meanwhile,
I love this.
A little bit of fairy play.
This is huge. This is going to cause INnoVation to have to deal with this. You can't just ignore it.
No, because that's going to start killing SCVs. He's going to kill depots as well. INnoVation stimming his Marines down here. Oh.
I wish GuMiho would have left his Marines on the low ground. They would have destroyed that fight. The comp shield is huge, but Cyclone gets taken out. Several SCVs die for this. Main army's moving over here to the left side, and INnoVation is looking for drops to the north, not more attacks to the south. He probably thinks he's successfully deflected this.
Yeah, he saw it with the watchtower real quick, but GuMiho takes the watchtower and moves back. So INnoVation is, moving his army around and trying to deal with this. It's still assuming that GuMiho is on the way. He loads up a double drop of his own, going to try and get some damage across the other side of the map. Smartly enough, though, GuMiho does have siege tanks set up just in case of a drop like that. He doesn't have any in the main, but he does have one at the third, just in case, and also getting a sensor tower of his own, just in time as well for this double drop.
I like the repair on the siege tank too. I think only a little bit of health missing now, but medevacs get caught for both players, really.
Yeah.
We're past the point in the game, by the way, where combat shields is going to be a problem. INnoVation's finally did finish up, so he's hitting the 2-2 mark on the same stride GuMiho is.
The depot spending the alarm bells there for GuMiho. He sees that the third is under siege, but the siege tanks and the reinforcement of his own units from production there bat INnoVation away. Yeah, both players. This is the part of TvT where it's hard to kill the other guy.
I like that he replants the sensor tower right away. That's a smart move.
Yeah. He's a sensible player. He's really, really good. Like, as much as he likes to early racks, he is very, very good at this matchup.
So he's wrapping around north side. I think he's specifically trying to catch the army in the retreat.
Yep.
He knows it's here, too. That big stim catches both the medevacs. That's a lot of free Marines now.
Yeah, these Marines are done and dusted, as Polaris would say.
Okay, well, hopefully GuMiho doesn't get too caught up with these Marines, though, because INnoVation is moving. The Cyclone will see that, too, in the middle. He's got to get back in position, actually. He's the one. Oh, God, GuMiho's actually really out of position. He might just have to go for the attack. Doom drop heading south?
His entire army up to the top, very, very top right corner of the map. GuMiho is somehow with the Star Sense, though, this small army looking for INnoVation taking the opening.
He didn't even lose all the Marines, by the way. I didn't realize 4 of them snuck away.
Huh. Oh my God, this Doom drop from INnoVation. 2 Vikings see it, but there's a Viking here, a defense force for INnoVation, and the Banshees, sorry, the medevacs, I got it eventually, third time's a charm, are going to get through.
Yeah, the escort out of INnoVation with those Vikings was pretty crucial to this even landing, but I think GuMiho's own Sim City is going to play against him here, having a hard time getting the engagement. He's got a lot of Marines, they got good upgrades, but...
Marines.
Is this going to break it? The tanks are still dealing a ton of damage. Okay, there we go. Finally cleans this up.
Wow.
That killed the starport, though, which is kind of a big deal because there's not like 4 starports in play. Like, he doesn't have starports to spare. That cuts out all of his medevac production, all of his Viking production, like, completely.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The starport, that means that INnoVation could capitalize on this and try and go for a big air army, but as it stands, he's just making Marines, siege tanks, and he's getting double upgrades, getting 3-3 on the way for his army right now, and he's going straight for this third base with a pretty overwhelming army, and GuMiho is just going to evacuate.
He actually just made a big mistake with the way he tried to take this engagement, too. Half of his army went one way. He had to recollect himself and regroup. He lost all the timing to reposition on this army, and this is going to go badly. Command Center is going to go down straight up. No chance to repair. SCVs, you could probably pick him up and save him, maybe? No, not even at this point.
The siege tanks are in these medevacs here for GuMiho, so INnoVation has a bit of an opening, move his Marines up. Looks like they do get unloaded, though.
This is pretty nasty.
This is intense.
GuMiho's in a rough spot. There's no doubt about it. The fact that he's trying to drag INnoVation over to go for the attack is one thing, but he still has those tanks in the medevacs, and I don't know why.
The tank's sieging up a little bit late here for INnoVation. GuMiho does unsiege, and he has a reinforcement Marines from the high ground as well. Is this enough for GuMiho to break this? I think it may be.
TvT, man. TvT.
TvT.
I also want to point out GuMiho did two things, literally two things. Marauders. And that caught me really off guard too. But I suppose, while they're not great units to have compositionally in your army, if these actually get to connect to the siege tanks, these will blow them apart real quick.
Yeah, it's not super uncommon to see some Terrans, I know Mario likes to do it, just pepper in like a few Marauders into your bio, just to make better engagements against siege tanks. Specifically against siege tanks.
Both players going for a bit of a bluff standoff in the middle of the map with these tanks. INnoVation scans confirm, nope, there's nothing there. So heads northwards. Big drop out of GuMiho, though.
Yeah, drop from GuMiho here, getting caught. The siege tank getting target fired down, and there goes the punch from GuMiho's army. INnoVation in position with a bunch of medevacs, a lot of Marines here. In the middle of the map is just trading tank for tank here against GuMiho.
Yo, what was kind of important, while this base did die for GuMiho, and that sucks, man, he was on top of his game. He moved the natural base almost immediately over to the down here. Or where did he move the natural? I guess the
natural.
natural.
To the bottom left. No,
oh, no, this is the natural. Okay, I see what he did. This is the natural, made a new command center at the 4th. I was like, what the fuck? That makes no sense. But this base gets repaired last second, almost loses the CC again. Drop in the main, out of range of the planetary, and this can deny some SCVs.
Yeah, and he's still just killing SCVs here and there. Eventually, GuMiho is going to deal with this, and he does deal with it now. But keeping that CC alive, I can't believe how well GuMiho and INnoVation are playing right now in this game. So back and forth.
I mean, there's so much more on the line for INnoVation, though. He's already on his last life in the series.
Yeah, this is match point for him.
Yeah, he's got a game to fall back to, but he's still playing it really well. Actually, resources lost right now is almost dead even, which is kind of scary.
Yeah, so this has been such an even, like whenever one player does huge damage to the other player, it happens again to the next player. Oh, this siege tank, this siege up from GuMiho could be great, but INnoVation pulls back just in time out of range of these siege tanks.
I didn't realize the discrepancy in tank losses though this game, Maynard. I'll get to that in a second. Fight comes down, spread out of GuMiho's looking pretty good. INnoVation's got numbers on his side though.
Yeah, it certainly does. The Marines are starting to break through for INnoVation. Doesn't have enough.
Oh, I guess
just
dead
getting
zone.
now on top of the siege tank.
One hero Marine is going to kill 2 to possibly 3 siege tanks. No way.
Oh my god, what's Hero Marine doing
that tank,
in this tournament?
That Marine had 5 kills and tanks.
Yeah, that was a god Marine right there.
But the thing I was going to put up before the fight, GuMiho had only lost like 5 tanks up to that point. Now it's 10. But INnoVation's lost 18 over the course of the game.
He's about to lose a couple more. GuMiho with a nice spread of tanks here. And getting on top of these tanks before the Marines come to defend them. And once these tanks go away, GuMiho's going to feel pretty good about pressing the issue and getting closer and closer to INnoVation. Oh, he's going to try and drop onto these tanks.
Yeah, not going to work. He realized that too at the last second. Both players so desperate to break each other. I mean, once the tanks go down, the defense is essentially broken. But GuMiho's got so many more tanks than INnoVation at this point. 6 to 4. And most of INnoVation's are not in the front line.
Also, GuMiho is still producing 2 tanks at a time, while INnoVation's prioritizing just Marine production here. The other big deal is that GuMiho has a lot more medevacs. So
I didn't catch that Liberator that actually set up over GuMiho's third and killed 8 SCVs, by the way. This one down here contributing to it as well. Liberators are kind of a cool aspect, but really you're never going to see more than 2 to 4 typically in a game.
Well, I think we're going to see a big trade here. See both players going straight. They're going balls deep here on each other. This is going to be rough.
Would you say that this is a base trade?
Oh, it may be Rifkin, it may be Ace 1, Ace 2, I'm not too sure. I mean, they kind of have to at this point. INnoVation up quite a lot in supply, most of it in army.
GuMiho's going to turtle in the main, but he doesn't have the tank line to do this just yet. But INnoVation's too scared to go through that choke, and rightfully so, he pulls back. GuMiho, however, is not chasing into the natural. He's pushing to the 3rd. He's going to be looking at the 4th. And while these might still be planetaries, these are much safer to fight against than a choke.
Yeah, chokes and TvT are very, very deadly with that splash damage from the siege tanks. And these planetaries are going to be all right against Marines, but the Marines can actually deal with the SCV, especially now that these tanks are here for sure.
This is real big problems on both sides. GuMiho lost 2 or 3 tanks, by the way, just to rallying and positioning wrong. So now he won't have the firepower to fight the Marines. He's got to get out of there with the medevacs. This SCV conga line, GG!
Wow, what a game 2 there. That was such a pleasure to see. I can't wait for game 3 now. I bet you game 3 is going to be another proxy game that ends in 5 seconds, though. You always have an epic game 2, and then game 3 is just like, whap, whap, whap. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong.
Either way, we're going to a commercial break while we get into it, guys. So map 3 when we get back. We'll see who wins the series. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Alright, you guys can hear the beeps, so we'll just cut some time, hop right into the game. It's Ascension to Ire for map number 3. Things have been tied up 1-1, and this was GuMiho's map pick, so it is worth noting this is definitely a proxyable map.
Yeah. Well, we'll just see if any SCVs come off the line real quick. In the bottom right here, this is GuMiho from Psystorm Gaming.
And his opponent, of course, in the top left, going to be the ever proxyable Red Terran INnoVation.
Now, this map isn't amazing for Reapers.
Well,
it's...
So, there are some maps where I think that statement really stands strong, like Proxima, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like Ascension to Ire and GuMiho combined, it's not about, like, trying to maneuver your way into the main as much as it is about just taking any damn fight you can get your hands on. So for those who don't know what Maynard is referring to, like, there is only one entrance. There's no back door. There's no sneaky way around. Like, INnoVation will know from which side GuMiho approaches. And once he's got a factory out, that won't matter that there's, like, this question mark of left versus right. But when it is Reaper versus Reaper, it is a gamble which side you jump up. And if your opponent's not ready for you, you could just win the game.
Yeah, and we saw that exact thing happen on Abyssal Reef, but that said, it was also a bit of a build order loss because INnoVation was going for a reactor on his barracks, and his factory wasn't even completed yet when there was already 3 Reapers in his main. So, bit of a different story, but...
Just got to add some hype on while we get this build started, guys. Sue vs. Stats is still going on, by the way. That is Game 3 at the moment. They haven't finished their series either, but the winner of this plays against either Classic or Zest, so guaranteed TvP semifinals.
Hope, and that's going to be a meaty TvT as well. I mean, meaty in the food sense.
I assumed. How
INnoVation dropping a CC on the low ground.
Actually, I guess it could technically be meaty as in they met each other. I don't know. If he does what he does, and he goes for the factory into a reactor, INnoVation might just be dead, despite this map being what it is. And he may be
this is
thinking,
the build order.
Yeah, like, he may be thinking what you were thinking. Oh, this isn't a great map for proxies. I won't have to worry about it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But a second Reaper.
It's going to go down.
No.
Yep. Ooh, baby. And he's going to come down with this Reaper. He doesn't go to look at the proxy location. Oh, INnoVation. This is such a common proxy location.
Yeah, the worst part is he was just shy of seeing the SCV in the Reaper too, right? Like, he was. Oh.
Yeah.
CC's going to get stalled. That's going to be annoying. He's probably best off canceling it right away if he wants to really make sure that this is handled, but...
He's pulling SCVs down the ramp here. He wants to engage these Reapers. GuMiho's target fire and not getting that Reaper of INnoVation just yet. If this Reaper dies for INnoVation,
the block
he is dead.
The block is so sick. The bunker comes down to limit how much can actually get through this little choke, and that's actually a pretty big deal because it also provides high ground vision, something he would have otherwise been lacking. But he takes on the Reaper, he takes on the Marine, and while there's a Hellion on the way, question marks get dropped. INnoVation's like, what the fuck?
INnoVation's just trying to process what the hell just happened to him here.
GG. I don't know what he said in Korean, but I gotta imagine it's gotta be the equivalent to PJ Salts.
Yeah, I don't think whatever he said was very generous to GuMiho at all.
Oh,
probably had a thing or two to say about his TvT.
The thing is, what's crazy about this is this I think only works because A, it is INnoVation, and B, it's a tournament. I actually don't think GuMiho gets away with this as many times as he does, say, playing ladder, because players on ladder are naturally more paranoid and more inclined to scout or look. And I mean, INnoVation's got. If I had to actually guess, that question mark was probably something along the lines of like, "Where the fuck did you proxy from?" Like, I looked and I didn't see, right? Like.
Yeah, he did look for it, but just didn't get deep enough.
No, that's it's an anticlimactic ending, but at the same time, a really good win for GuMiho because INnoVation. Say what you like about the guy, he's always going to be the standard of a good player. He's always somebody you're measuring everybody up else against. So, GuMiho comes out of that looking absolutely fantastic for sure.
Yep, and he'll be up against a Protoss here. So is it either Classic or Stat?
Classic or Zest.
Or Zest. Oh, there you go. That's going to be a sick TvP, however you slice it.
I'm not sure how this will time out for casting, though. So, again, if you guys want to see this firsthand, type ! brackets. But to show you real quick where we're at, GuMiho advances, and both semifinals get cast. So we may end up having to wait for Crank and Take TV to get out of the Sue vs. Stats series, which is still going on. So this either
Wow.
means all the casters will be covering Keen versus the winner of this, and then both semifinals, or Olivia may kickstart us and make us start the semifinals. I don't actually know the order in which we'll be doing this, but I will try and find out ASAP. So, well, we're not quite going to an ad break yet. Oh, there we go. We already have the answer. Nice. I was literally
I like it.
about to ask. Olimoleague says, let's do Sue versus Keen, everybody, since no semifinals is ready at the moment. More StarCraft, more casting means I'm going to die from my allergies a little bit sooner, but that's okay. So Sue advances over stats, Sue versus Keen, and then both semifinals. So you guys can look forward to 3 best of 3s and a best of 5 still left in the cast today. After being spoiled with 2, I'm pretty excited for anything else we get our hands on. I just wish I was in better health.
Me too, man.
I like
It hurts. It hurts me to hear a friend when they're sick.
I love the question. You got in on this too. The question marks in chat.
Yeah, of course. You got to be a part of it.
All right, well, we'll get the lobby up here in a moment, guys. We're going to go a quick commercial break, and we'll see you in 2 more minutes with the new series ready to go.